I want to share a quote with you that I really like. It goes something like this. If you think the price of living your best life is too high, wait till you get the bill from regret. And when do you think we're going to get that bill from regret? It's when we can no longer do the activities. It's when we can no longer do the things that we want to do. It's when we can no longer be with people that we love, right? And if you're close to my age, many of my viewers are in their 40s, 50s, 60s. Unfortunately, at 60, we have less than 1,000 weeks remaining of healthy active time. So we want to make sure we're squeezing all the juice out of the youth of our senior years. So these are the 5 habits that, as a financial advisor for over 20 years, I have found have been super helpful for my clients as they transition into this phase of their lives. The first one is mindset. And I think the best thing any of us can do to keep our mindset positive and to stay in the game is to have solid mentors around us. And I have all types of mentors. I have mentors that I'm fortunate enough with. I can meet over a cup of coffee and talk with them about certain things. I have online mentors. And then probably the majority of my mentors I've never even met. And they don't know who Azul Wells is, because I've just read their books and I've listened to their podcasts and I've watched their YouTube channel. But mentors are so important to kind of get us in the right mindset. And that's habit number 1, is being in the right positive mindset. Because if we can stay in the right positive mindset, even if we have setbacks, we still have that hunger, we still have that drive, we still have that desire to live our best lives. And I want you to keep that hunger and that drive as long as you can. Number two is habits. You know, we are all probably 3 or 4 habits away from living our best life. And there's a great book. It's written by a gentleman by the name of James Clear, and he talks about how to set up habits. The name of his book is Atomic Habits, and how to make it easier to achieve habits. As I record this, we're a couple months away from the first of the year, and by now, most people's New Year's resolutions are out the window. And I'm not a fan of New Year's resolutions, but I am a fan of working to develop new habits. Now, let me talk about what I said earlier. Most of us are 3, 4, at most 5 habits away from our best lives. One of the things I'm working on doing is losing 10 pounds this year. And literally, there's just a couple habits that I need to get into. Doing some meal preparation, being more disciplined about when I eat, and more importantly, probably for me, is when I don't eat. So I'm literally just a couple habits away from being able to live, being able to achieve that goal. And for many of us, if we really break it down, we're just a couple habits away. For people that are younger, maybe they're thinking about going back to school and getting their MBA. It's really the habit of sitting down and studying for that entrance exam and making that a part of your life for 2, 3, whatever, 4 months ahead of time to get that. And I just use that as an example. I want you to think, and maybe pause the video and think, what are the habits that if you could put in place would make it easier for you to live your best life? And then I really encourage you to read that book by James Clear. It's filled with great information. Candidly, it's kind of a dry read, but you know what? Force yourself to get through it because it's really good. And one of the things he talks about is habit stacking. So one of the easiest ways to develop a new habit is to build it behind a habit that you already do. For instance, let's say that I wanted to start doing 100 push-ups a day. Well, you know, I brush my teeth once in the morning, once in the evening, and once after lunch. What if I, pounded out 33 push-ups before I brush my teeth each time? So that's the idea of habit stacking, but his book is really good. Let's move on to the next one. Habit number 3 is kind of related to what I've been talking about, is your health. Investing in your health, spending time on your health, making it a priority, taking the time to pursue your health. And you know what? If you're still working full time, it's really hard to do it all. Do what you can. This is the vehicle that we have that we're going to drive through up to retirement and in retirement and all the way to our final days. And really think about that. And I haven't always been as good about that as I should be, but really ask yourself, is the vehicle you're driving, do you want that to be a Ferrari, or do you want that to be an inexpensive compact car, right? We all want it to be a Ferrari. And so there's just like, I've never had a car like that, but I would imagine you have to take care of it regularly. You have to put the right fuel in. It's the same thing with our health. So I just encourage you to do that. Number 4 is our family. Our family, for many of us, not for all of us, for many of us, our family is our foundation. Those are the folks that no matter how many silly things we do, you know what, they're still going to be there. We know we can count on them because, you know, I want to say because they have to be there. And as a parent, you know, I want my kids to know that, you know, dad's always going to be there for them no matter what. And so however you say that, it's nice to have that dependability. So that's number 4. I'm going to give you a bonus. Let's move on to number 5, which is related, which is your friends. You know, your friends don't have to be there with you, right? So cherish your friends, invest in your friends, but also choose your friends wisely, and don't be afraid to prune out of your community friends that don't support you. You know, I've learned through my life, and again, I've been a financial advisor for over 20 years, and I've helped guide people into having their best retirement. And oftentimes, it's really their friend circle that is either holding them up or holding them back. You know, clearly you want your friends to be holding you up and encouraging you to be your best self. So don't be afraid if somebody's not being supportive of you, if they're acting jealous maybe when you have a nice success, as opposed to celebrating with you. Don't be afraid to prune those people out of your life. You can do that directly or you can do it indirectly. I find it's best to do it directly. You know, I just tell my friends, hey, when you do that, it makes me feel bad about myself. And I don't want to feel that way, because if I do, then you and I are going to stop hanging out together, because I only surround myself with people that cheer me on and help me be my best version. So that's how I do it. We're all different, but I just wanted to put that on your plate. Okay, another one is just having balance in your life. Making sure your life isn't all work, making sure your life isn't all play, though at some point it's okay for it to be that way. But having that balance, and there's another good book that I want to recommend. It's called 3 Alarms by a CEO coach whose name is Eric Partaker. And Eric charges his clients like $70,000 or $80,000 US a year to coach them. But you know what? We can all buy his book for $20. Or Audible's a heck of a deal. Most Audibles, if you buy the credits in bulk, you can get it for $12 or $13. So 3 Alarms by Eric Partaker. And then, you know, I just want to close with talking about the importance of health and the importance of time. And you know, candidly, time in your health, frankly, is more important than wealth. So I'm going to close with a quote that I've heard many millionaires. I'm fortunate I work with a lot of millionaires. I'm paraphrasing here, but you know, oftentimes I hear, when I was 20 years old, I really wanted to be a millionaire. And now that I'm a millionaire, I really want to be 20 years old. So I want you to enjoy the journey. And because of that, I want you to think about watching this video here, which talks about 7 things that I want you to stop doing in your 50s and 60s in order to enjoy the journey more. I'll see you in there. Thanks for watching this one. Bye-bye.